My name is Anthony Douglas, joined by AG. This is Number One Contender. So we got a pretty stacked show on the line here. We got the number one clickbait on all the internet, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, DEJI, and KSI in your co-main event triple threat. I don't even know. The biggest show on the, as the internet has been saying, the biggest show in internet history just went down. And boy, was it a show. We had some YouTubers who were all over the place. But before we get into it, I figured I'd give you guys a little qualifications here, because you might be following us from other places. You might be seeing Number One Contender for the very first time. You might be hearing it for the first time, or you might be seeing it in places that you might know right now. So I will tell you, I'm Anthony Douglas. Some of you may know me as TonyPizzaGuy. I'm TonyPizzaGuy anywhere on social media. That's sort of my resume. I'm known for doing wrestling, video games, all that fun stuff. My qualifications, I guess, for doing this show would be I'm a longtime wrestling fan, longtime sports fan, longtime, you know, anything entertaining. I'm a huge fan of. I've been watching wrestling since I was a little kid, and 31 years later, here we are. So I think AG, we know him as Angle Places. You know what? You just kind of run down. Tell us who you are.
I mean, I appreciate that introduction. I'm pretty much a nobody.
Stop.
I used to be a somebody, and then I became a nobody. No, listen. You guys could call me Anthony, Ango, AG. It don't matter. A lot of people know me by different things. But here on the show, I'm going to keep it real. And whether or not you like it, I really don't care, because I think a lot of people are hiding the realness from certain topics and certain situations. And this is no gimmick. So I'm going to just keep it real, and that's it. I don't know.
So we're going to cover anything from sports to pro wrestling, fighting, entertainment, video games, pop culture, any of that. But we're going to focus mostly today on the KSI v. Logan Paul. You can hashtag that, read what all the people are saying on social media. It's a blaze here, man. It's a blaze. I mean, right away, we can think this is the biggest clickbait in internet history, since we have potentially number 2 coming up. Event number 2, and we just ended it, and they're already talking about a number 2. Our main event went to a draw. Like, bro, what's the deal here?
Well, let me ask you a question. Obviously, we know a little bit about how this all came about. KSI had fought Joe Weller sometime last year, ended up winning pretty decisively,
and he is the YouTube. This is something I don't get. How do you go down and say I'm the YouTube boxing champion? Like, he just has that title, like, by beating Joe Weller. He's the YouTube boxing champion. All right.
Yeah, I think it started off as kind of like a joke, and then obviously, you know, he called out Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and I think from right there, I think they knew exactly what was going to go down a year later. I think it was a very well calculated move. Now I'm gonna be honest here. This is a situation where I think we have 2 really popular YouTubers with a lot of controversies and a lot of things surrounding them, and I think it made sense. And that's how we got to this stage. We got to the point where, you know, after I would say several months, you know, we have top YouTube creators, and I don't like calling them celebrities. I don't think what we do is anything like a celebrity. Maybe in some ways, yeah.
Can we just get the word YouTube out of it? I don't like the word YouTube being in these fights. Like, why aren't you just like entertainers?
They're entertainers. Yeah, they're entertainers.
Like, you don't have to put it as, like, because when to people that aren't in our world, that don't know you, like YouTube, and then you think of like TV stars, like, oh, well, YouTuber's below a TV star, which is not true now, but just like the general like thinking is that, oh yeah, you're a YouTuber, you're like a second-rate citizen there. So I think we should just call it entertainers and call it what it is. KSI, Logan Paul, 2 biggest like entertainers, not even just on the internet, but all like globally and worldwide. So I mean, there was millions of people watching this. There was thousands of people in attendance. So just call it for what it is. Don't put them as like a YouTuber. They're just like entertainers putting on this great show. And I have to hand it to them. They had like such a great production value all the way from the like beginning opening where they were just talking about it all the way to the end. And, you know, even the videos, the entrances, all that was really good.
Yeah. So let me ask you this before we kind of just chip away at everything. Cause I do agree. I don't think YouTubers should be referred to as YouTubers anymore. I think creators are entertainers. in certain aspects, I remember telling you back when I had my old YouTube channel, just having like 30 million views or whatever it was. I remember bragging to you about having more views than certain TV shows, and I always thought that was funny. But nonetheless, yeah, it's definitely a different thing now. So, well, let me just ask you this, right? We already know the numbers that it did. We already know I think we already know who the better fighter was. I think Logan Paul obviously shocked the world. But if I'm being honest here, what was your stance on it? I feel like you were kind of silent on this, prior to the actual fight. I know you had a little bit of things to say, but like going into this fight, forget about the undercard right now. When you look at those two big fights, those two big matchups, obviously DEJI, Jake Paul, and then Logan Paul, KSI, like what was your mindset going into it?
Well, first off, I knew it was going to be like sided towards KSI and DEJI because, it's in the UK. So obviously it's going to be on their side. Because when we saw the press conferences leading up to it, which I thought were very interesting for them to do that, I think they did one in LA. Is that where I think it was LA somewhere. And then they did one in the UK. And then obviously the one in LA, KSI got roasted there. And then the one in the UK, Logan Paul just walked away. And I thought that was kind of crazy. He's like, all right, I'll see you at the fight. That's it. I'm out of here. So, honestly, coming into this, I was like, DEJI's going to lose, KSI's going to win, and that's how it is because KSI, he just has that boxing, he's been in that fight that we were talking about earlier, and he has that experience there where I didn't know if Logan Paul had it, I mean, Logan Paul's a big guy, so he definitely did have the reach advantage when it came to the fight. We'll get more into that as we go on, but anyway, I thought DEJI was going to lose, and then I thought KSI was going to win. That was my honest take there. And the internet got that glorious image of Jake Paul getting punched in the face with blood coming down. I think I saw that repost of bloody Jake Paul, like posted like so many times, like everybody screen capped that and said, "You're welcome, internet." And that was like going on Twitter like crazy, which I thought was hilarious.
So you obviously thought DEJI was going to lose, which I'll admit DEJI was definitely a shocker in this fight. But one of the things you mentioned, you thought KSI would win. I actually have to disagree. I disagree with the decision fully. I mean, this was not scripted by WWE whatsoever, but it ended in a draw, a majority draw. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't agree. I think Logan took it. I think Logan got the fight. But obviously, now that we know the outcome, majority draw, we know that there's going to be a rematch. You said something earlier about this being one of the biggest internet clickbaits, whatever. To some extent, I could agree with that. But like, what's your view on this decision that we saw? Because Jake Paul got bloodied up. Logan Paul,
I have to stop you. I have to pump the brakes here because I don't think that Logan Paul was winning that. I clearly back the KSI train here. KSI definitely had the stamina there. He went. It's not a like a 1-round knockout type thing. You got to last all the rounds. I feel like if this would have been like a 10-round, 12-round fight, KSI would have won that any day, right? Like KSI had the stamina. KSI could last in the long game. You saw Logan Paul. He put his hands down. He was getting tired. He was breathing heavy, and then it just came down to that bell. And I see where, like, as it was, I could see the split because Logan did perform better in the early rounds, but as it went on, that was definitely KSI's victory. And if you don't see it that way, you're just lying to yourself because KSI definitely, if it would have went any longer, KSI would have got the win.
Hold on. So you're telling me I'm lying to myself by thinking that, but the problem that I have right here with what you just said, I don't see how you can say that I'm lying to myself by thinking that way because I think everybody's lying to themselves trying to not accept the fact that the Paul brothers actually did good and something that they were expected to get smoked in. I think everybody has so much hatred towards these guys online because of their personas and their entertainment tactics. And sure, we can admit sometimes their stuff is not funny. Most of the time it's not funny. But for the most part, people take these controversies and say, you know what? Yeah, these guys should lose. I didn't see them as soft fighters going into it, regardless if they had proper training or not. And one thing I have to add, I like I said earlier, I admit DEJI looked great. I mean, I thought he actually shocked me. But when you look at Jake Paul, I mean, there's a reason why the towel gets thrown in. Like, Jake Paul looked like a beast. I mean, he was strong. He was definitely executing certain, moves that
See, I don't think
he should.
I don't think DEJI was gonna lose. I don't think he was gonna. I don't think the towel needed to be thrown in. I feel like he could have gone the distance there with DEJI, and he still would have lost. But I feel like the trainers got a little. I don't know. I don't feel like he was getting to the point where the towel needs to come in.
Well, the problem is you have 4 guys who really are inexperienced. I don't care if they're training with Mayweather's camp. I don't care who they're training with, who they're talking to, who they're working with. Because honestly, it doesn't mean anything when you're an entertainer. You're not an athlete. Even with some of these guys having a little bit of an athletic background, it doesn't really change the fact that people doubted Logan and Jake Paul. And I think at the end of the stream, when you see that Jake Paul's hands are raised, I think obviously that was the clear prediction for many people. But when you see that his hand was raised and then he continues to be a jackass right after the fight, I respect that.
How are you gonna respect a guy that goes out there and he wins a fight, right? And he's like, I want to thank everybody. Yeah, whatever, good. Thank whoever. Thank God. Thank whatever. Then this dude goes, yo, I got a new clothing line. Buy my merch. There's only 500 t-shirts available now. Go buy. Like, how you gonna do that? How are you gonna plug your merch after you? Man, is this not enough exposure for you? I'm sure they make a pretty penny off of this, but how are you gonna plug your merch after you win a fight?
It's clear as day. It's business as usual. When you're Jake Paul and Logan Paul, like I said earlier in this episode, everything was well calculated from the minute that this whole thing happened, from the inception of this event. You know, I think everything was calculated. I think Jake Paul had ideas of dropping this clothing line for months now. And I think, hey, you know what? I already know I'm going to beat DEJI's ass, which he clearly did. And people are going to talk about it, which not to mention Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, and DEJI, all 4 of them were trending on Twitter. Yeah, it's a smart business move, and unfortunately, there's nothing you could say to change my mind.
But you don't see guys like Mayweather or like Pacquiao or those guys. They're not out there like throwing down like, hey, buy my merch. I just won. Like Mayweather's not going to go out there and be like, yo, buy my new t-shirts. Like, well,
I'm glad you're starting to agree with me that Jake Paul is like McGregor or Mayweather because
even.
On the entertainment aspect, absolutely. From the outfit, from the chains, from everything.
Dude, I don't care. He was a broken, like he's a wannabe Mayweather wearing that cow suit thing.
But that's the thing. You have to understand the amount of viewership in this type of event. You have to be like that. You can't just show up and be like not confident, not entertaining. You have to show up and come with everything, the mic skills, the trash talk, the ego. I was watching one of the little sit downs that they had before the event like a couple weeks ago, and it's basically DEJI and Jake Paul are going face to face, and it's like DEJI goes, well, I'm calling you a pussy to your face because you said you were going to do something if I did that, and clearly you're not doing anything. And it's like, you know, the point of this is to trash talk people and to get people into thinking that this is a one-of-a-kind event. And the best part is, I mean, we saw the leaked contract terms. We know that, you know, basically what I forgot who reported it. Maybe you could figure that out for me. But, I mean, we saw that on Twitter. They already knew they were going to have a second fight and potentially a third fight. So,
yeah. There's a lot to talk about. I feel like we're just all over the place with this. But, I mean, when you're getting into it, it is entertainment, like you said. It's still just like a jackass thing for Jake Paul to do. Hey, buy my merch. Like, come on, dude.
Well, you got to think.
He's known for that. Like, that's like he's gimmicking it up like 10,000% because he's known for the merch thing, right? That's like his gimmick on YouTube. And he went like OD on the merch. Hey, buy my new merch. There's only 500. Like, come on, dude. And he still, to this day, he still feels like a little brother of Logan Paul. Like, Logan Paul's that guy that, like, he does have some sort of, like, he has, like, a little bit of, like, humbleness to him, you know, where, like, he knows that he screwed up this year and he knows that he's got to be a little bit more humble. Like, hey, maybe I can redeem myself. Where Jake Paul's just, like, that kid who just doesn't know, like, I'm just going to keep running my mouth and saying whatever and I don't even care. Going to get those clicks and those views, everybody. That's all he's out about right now.
But again, when you have 700,000 plus paid viewers, I mean, we're talking millions of dollars this event generated, bro. This is not some dude with 10,000 subscribers who is trying to start controversy for success. These guys are all successful, and they're taking advantage of their success. They have fan bases, and yeah, bro, they came out looking impressive. Yeah, the costumes look a little goofy, but at the end of the day, they came prepared. They knew they had all the attention on them. You know, nobody watched this event hoping to see KSI or DEJI get their ass kicked. You know, everybody was watching to see Logan and Jake get their ass kicked, which obviously didn't happen. So, and in some respect, I think these two guys even gained respect from others. If you really think about it, I think a lot of people looked at this was like, oh yeah, it's a walk in the park, KSI, boom, 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 that's it. And, you know, when you have the whole world waiting for you to get your ass kicked, you're going to come out, look like a bigger douchebag than normal, but you're going to take advantage of it because when you actually show people that you can fight, you're starting to gain people's respect. And now all of a sudden, people kind of like, oh yeah, these guys are dumbasses, but we kind of respect them now because we thought they were going to get their ass kicked, and they clearly didn't.
So
Clearly,
you're telling me that more people paid to see Logan and Jake get beat up than they paid to see KSI fight. That's what you're
absolutely. Saying. I don't think I agree 1,000,000%, because, you know, if I'm just gonna be honest, I can't even tell you maybe two names off the undercard except for Scarce.
I mean, we could talk about the undercard really quick. There was like nobody I really knew off of this, and these are like, and that's like a big YouTube problem nowadays. Is like people, they're the biggest YouTube, like, who's this? Where was this one? I'm trying to look at the names here. Like, Call Me Ham and Jersey Jeremy. Like, I didn't know who they were. Yeah. Call Me Ham got the victory. Momo and Rossi HD. I don't know who they are. Really, they have 2 million subscribers. They play FIFA. Okay, I don't know who they are. JMX and Coach Richard. I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
I don't know. FaZe, Sensi, and then Overt Flow. Those guys.
Those are the two guys I know. In
obviously
addition to Scarce.
Obviously. Then you got Raka Raka, which I don't even know really at all. Fought Scarce there, but again, they have over 10 million followers between both of them, so I don't even know. I feel like it should have been Scarce and Keemstar if it was me booking this stuff, but you know, that's how I would have booked it out. But
that's why you're not the booker though.
But Scarce actually went on like a huge diet for 6 months. He looked great. He took some punches. It's one of those things where he like kind of like a DEJI thing where like he had heart, brother. He had heart, so you got to give it to him. And then
but we don't care. We don't care if you got heart, bro. We care if you win. We care if you look like a winner.
I mean, Scarce went out there and did a little not Instagram, a Twitter video. Yeah. And he was like, "Man, it's just such a great experience to be out there."
Yeah. So on the video itself, the part where he's talking, I mean, it's a great video. A lot of respect goes out to Scarce because I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. But this wasn't about Scarce. This wasn't about FaZe Sensei. This wasn't about, you know, any of these dudes. It was about Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And I would say a good percentage of the viewers bought the pay-per-view to see whether or not they would get their ass kicked. They were hoping that they would become a meme out of it. And I don't think that was successful.
I think Jake Paul became a meme. His bloody face Jake Paul became a meme.
Bloody face Jake Paul became a meme, but Jake Paul won. So I don't think that meme actually does anything to him. In fact, I guarantee you his new clothing line sales are booming right now. If we had the numbers, I would say they are. And listen, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of the Paul brothers, but I'm just speaking from a logical standpoint where what they did here was they treated this as a business. They accepted the fight. They were always on drama alert, and they were on these drama channels, and they're being reported on, and they're doing things and calling out people and talking shit. You know, I think Logan Paul walking out of the press conference generated a lot of buzz. Wow, Logan Paul is scared. Logan Paul is scared. Logan Paul comes to the fight, does his thing, walks out, majority draw, claims that he's going to win in the next fight. Okay, so now you already sold the second fight because there was no clear definitive winner. And at the end of the day, I honestly think that Logan Paul is going to have more time to prep, maybe get some, you know, opportunities to build his strength, and I think that's when it's game over for KSI. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a fighting expert. I don't look like a fighting expert. I don't want to be a fighting expert, but I will tell you, this pay-per-view is all about the money, and I think at the end of the day, I think both guys don't really have beef. I don't personally think that. I know a lot of people are saying that. But whether or not they have the beef, it doesn't really matter. It's a business, first and foremost. And I would say, you know, Maverick clothing line and whatever Jake Paul's merchandise is, I'm sure they're booming right now. And I would say a lot of people started to respect the Paul brothers because they saw them actually handle their own in the ring. Now, granted, if they both got knocked out, it would have been bad business. There would be no second fight, but that's not where we're at in this stage. So
people are saying this is rigged from the start because this contract came, these leaked details of a contract. I don't know where this came from. I saw Keemstar tweet about it. I've seen it go circulating around. What is your take on like this contract that we had a two event fight deal here? Like, what is your take on this? And I actually sent this over to you, so if you want to take a look at the full contract details here, it's over there for you, Ango. But yeah. I threw up like, so they have the UK event that we just had, which was basically put on by OP Talent. They were the ones that were representing KSI. They're like KSI Nemedis, but it's OP Talent. They had their logo all over the place. A UK event held in the Manchester Arena on August 25th. Then a US event run by Team Logan, which is Logan Paul's US company. That would be in February 2019. And then both UK events were filmed by the organizer, you know, the Nemedis or whatever that is, a UK and a US company. So 100% of the net profits would go to KSI for the UK event, and then the Nemedis would take the 10% fee for the production. Then the other one for the US event is going to be 100% of the profits go to Logan Paul, US company taking the production fee, Logan Paul's company. Both KSI and Logan Paul have a right to opt out of the rematch US event within 90 days of the 25th event, so the one that just happened. And in the event KSI opts out of the rematch, he forfeits 50% of his net profits from the sales of the UK event and pays them to Logan Paul. If Logan Paul opts out for the US event, KSI keeps 100% of the profits from the UK event. So what are your thoughts on this? Like, was after like all of this coming out, was this like a, all right, guys, I'm gonna give you the first two rounds, then I'll come back in the third and then fourth, and we'll go down to the end? Is that kind of what we saw here, or was it like not calculated like that?
So kind of going off what you're saying, is it a fake fight? I don't think so. I don't think it was. You got to think this is ran by a professional boxing commission. So is it fake? I would say the chances are highly unlikely. I think if it was fake and scripted, I think KSI would have won the first one, Logan would have won the second one, and then a mega $1 million deal would have been signed for a third fight. With it being a majority draw, I think, you know, these boxing refs, I feel like they'd have a lot to lose based on rigging the contest. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But if it was rigged, I think they did a terrible job rigging it, because a majority win, I mean, like I said, they should have just given it to Logan. So why do the majority draw in the first place if that's not really the right decision?
Yeah, I mean, they could have. Yeah, I guess if you want to give it to Logan, but then see, it's just, I don't think it was rigged, but I do think that it's got some shady dealings out there. It just doesn't feel right to me that like they were already promoting it on commentary after the fight, like, oh yeah, well I guess we'll have to finish it in LA, and it's like, bruh, you already knew? Like, come on, dude. It's like,
I don't think they knew. I think what they were trying to do was start promoting the second fight, because regardless of who won this one, I think what their intentions was Logan Paul was going to win the first one in the UK. KSI would have won in the US. I think that's what they would have hoped for. So Logan Paul would have got a lot of spotlight, and then I think what both camps were hoping for was it was a split 1-1, and then they would end up doing a third fight for all the marbles, which kind of like the Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor series of fights. You know, I think it makes sense. Everybody likes a good trilogy. Everybody likes a good rivalry. And, you know, I look at this contract. I don't think it's fake. I don't think booking a majority draw is anything smart. But, I mean, I'm not a booking agent for boxing. I don't do any of that. So
KSI and Logan Paul have 90 days to opt out of this rematch for the US event. Knowing what we know and how everything played out, it seems like these two are quote all into this next event, right?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be foolish for KSI not to redeem himself, because if he didn't have his hand raised solely by himself, then I feel like he takes most of the loss here in this situation.
So where does this where does this really put DEJI now? Like, what does he do since he took the L here, and everybody just like, he still feels like KSI's little brother, you know, that kind kind of feeling there. So like, what would you do with Jake Paul and DEJI again? Because I don't think you have a rematch with those two, right?
No, but I think you're forgetting that Jake Paul, again, being a smart business guy, he called out Chris Brown. So, I mean, who knows? Is Chris Brown and Jake Paul going to fight on the next card being, underneath KSI and Logan Paul? I think that'd be kind of stupid. But
would it be like a dumb decision? Or honestly, if Chris Brown were to get in the ring, it'd be a big money move for him, I think. I think it would be smart for him. I mean,
absolutely.
They made big money moves here and got Michael Buffer to freaking announce them, which was insanely awesome there. Which props to them for getting Michael Buffer. But like Chris Brown, what do you think? Is he going to accept it? Is he going to say yes? I
don't think so. Nobody wants to be associated with the Logan brothers right now. The Paul brothers.
Is this whole circus going to turn into just a celebrity boxing thing and like go away from the YouTube thing? Are we going to get more celebrities coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I want to be a part of it"? Hey, because you gotta believe here that there's tens of millions of views probably on this. I don't even know 10 million. Can you say 10? Probably not.
Sure.
Maybe because I think one time when I was watching there was at least 700,000, 900,000, maybe. I don't know, but I'm sure after the fact. How it was all playing out, I think there was a lot of people watching, a lot of illegal streams still going on, which I kind of want to touch on that too. But do you think a lot of these celebrities, like we'll get some mainstream people coming out of the works being like, hey, I kind of want a payday from this. Can I get in on this?
Yeah, I think we could see a lot of people doing that, but I think it's all about who carries the belt. So when Logan Paul wins the belt from KSI on Fight 2, or if he doesn't, I don't know. What do I know, right? But I think Logan Paul walks out of this as a champ, right? I think he can beat KSI in the fight number 2. I think we could see something definitive. Is it a knockout? I don't know. KSI is pretty strong. KSI obviously had a good showing. I don't think KSI gets knocked out. But I think if Logan Paul wins, there are so many people that would love to knock out Logan Paul, and there's so many people that want to see Logan Paul get knocked out. And if Logan Paul were to verse another celebrity, I say do it. It makes sense for business. I think it makes sense. And at the end of the day, that's what this whole thing has been about, man. I think when you look at the arena, you can see so many people there. So many people paid for their tickets. So many people paid to watch on TV or, on pay-per-view and on YouTube. They paid for it. I mean, leading up to this, their vlogs and their videos trying to sell a storyline. There was a lot of revenue generated from this. And now if you're talking about additional celebrities, yeah, I could see a lot of people wanting to get in the mix. The problem is the people that want to get in the mix, they got to really come correct because, I mean, we're talking about inexperienced guys and nobody wants to watch Vin Diesel fight The Rock in a boxing ring. Like, that's not going to happen, obviously. So we're not going to get, like, A-list celebrities. We're not going to get, like, big names because they got to protect themselves for their films, and they can't be suffering PR losses to Logan Paul or Jake Paul. So if this does expand, I think it's going to happen in a situation where they expand to perhaps more of the online personalities. Do I have a fantasy card necessarily? No. Would I get in the ring? Probably not. But
Well, let's talk more about the first one before we talk about the second one. I kind of want to talk about like the problems they had with the broadcasting, and then even Twitch staff members watching it while it's illegally streamed on Twitch. I kind of want to hit on this, so that's a hot topic here. So, I purchased it on YouTube, or like YouTube is where I got it, so you can get it on YouTube, and I think it was KSILogan.com or something, or KSIVLogan.com or something like that, right? Isn't that, or .tv? What was it? KSIVLogan.tv?
It was something like that, yeah. That's where I actually ordered it from.
Logan.tv. And a lot of people were saying, hey, I can't get this to work. I can't get it to play. It's not working. It's saying that the site is crashed. There's too many people accessing it and I can't get it. And then it turns out that there's rumors, not confirmed anywhere, but they're just saying that it was DDoS. The site was DDoSed and they were attacked with DDoS stuff, and that brought the site down. Do you think this hurts it? Do you think there's going to be a lot of people that ordered it this way are going to want a refund out of this thing?
Yeah, I mean, whenever there's technical issues, I'd assume so. With that being said, I ordered it. I'm not going to ask for a refund. I couldn't get access to it. I got busy at work. So I was watching a little bit here and there. I didn't experience that many technical issues for the most part. And then I think it was during the Jake Paul fight where I started to notice some issues. But yeah, I think a lot of people at the end of the day, when they pay for a service, they want to have access without any hiccups. And honestly, I get why they sold this as a pay-per-view, but I'm going to be honest, bro. They didn't have to sell this on pay-per-view. I mean, obviously they made millions of dollars and that's cool. But like either way, I think if this was free, I think we're talking 3 to 5 million concurrent viewers.
Do you think we'd like triple the revenue? I mean,
yes.
Because this was a question I always had. Because the Super Bowl, as we know, is 100% free. Just turn it on and watch it. I was always wondering if they did WrestleMania for free, what kind of like deals they could, if they triple their revenue, quadruple the revenue. Like I'm wondering next time Logan KSI 2, do they do this for free? Do they strike a big deal with YouTube and say we're gonna throw this on the front page, promote it, and put it up there for free?
Yeah, I mean, if they're smart, that's what they should do.
Or sell it to YouTube Premium or YouTube Red or whatever it is nowadays.
If YouTube was smart, and this is where YouTube kind of lacks, because I know a lot of people talk about the controversies surrounding all of these guys, you know, from stupid shit that they did in the past.
Yeah,
but like, this is the kind of stuff that YouTube needed as a platform to bring audiences back. Not only just the audiences, but creators. Because creators have walked away from this platform because they're like, yeah, I'm not making much money. They don't give a shit about us. Like, YouTube is dying out. Advertisers don't care about us anymore.
Right.
And then, in reality, a big event like this happens, and now it's like, okay, let's jump right back into that, because now we're going to jump back into a platform where, you know, we have the biggest fight in the world going down. Not even the biggest fight, but maybe the biggest live stream, the biggest event. When it comes to like actual like trends and everything like that, when it comes to social media engagement, I would say more people were talking about this than a lot of different things that have been happening in the mainstream world. So when we say it's the biggest clickbait on the internet, I think it's the biggest clickbait in the world right now. I think I mean, let's compare, right? Like WWE has big events, but WWE is not always trending #1. Yeah, they trend for the most part very well, but like this was huge. Everybody was talking about it. You had celebrities, you had athletes, you had news stations, you had social platforms. At the end of the day, man, it's hard. It's really hard for YouTube to put this on YouTube Red when people don't want YouTube Red.
Right.
You know? So I think the way they kind of did it, I think it made sense. But would I like to see it for free? Yeah. Do I think they can make a lot of money? Yeah. Would it be cool to see them cross over onto live TV? Absolutely. Would this ever happen? No. And to be honest, outside of the internet world, nobody gives a shit about two guys fighting in a boxing ring with helmets on, okay?
Right.
Let's just be real.
I think that you got to do something different next time. You got to do it for free. You got to do it somehow. I mean, the paid model was fine. The price tag was fine. The thing is, the big issue I here is like Twitch.tv, because I think this would be a great Twitch stream, right? I think this would be a perfect Twitch stream. Do it for free. People sub, you know, you earn your money that way. That's the way to go. They have the KSI Logan Paul channel now, so obviously they need more content going forward to KSI Logan Paul 2, so it's perfect for that. They got tons of content coming out, I'm sure. Perfect, right? They keep the YouTube channel going, but I think Twitch would have been perfect. But I think Twitch kind of burned their bridge here with these guys here, because allowing... You know what the #1 trending game was? Or the #1, because they have games. They also have pro wrestling on Twitch, if you're not familiar. The #1 trending thing was boxing fight. There was over 1 million viewers watching boxing fight. You have to wonder, what other boxing fights would be going on that would be on Twitch? Nothing. This was actually the fight. Kept getting broadcast and then taken down. And then there was actually one that had over... What did it have? Over 700,000 people watching at a time, I believe, of like this rebroadcast. And even if you look in the screenshots I saw, there was Twitch staff in the broadcast watching it because their name appeared in the chat room. So it's got to make you wonder, like, do they not want to take it down? Did they want to watch it themselves? Like, I don't know. It feels like they should have taken it down and it should have stayed off their platform, but. I mean, obviously you're getting people to come to your platform looking for it. Is it, hey, maybe it's just kind of like, well, it's not ours to take down, so let's just leave it, you know? What do you think?
Well, who owns the rights to this production?
It's like
At the end,
it's KSI's production group for this one, right?
so KSI's production group. Is KSI's production group on the same level as Paramount or Universal or Fox or anything like that? I would say no. Unfortunately, KSI's production company isn't that big.
They did have people. They did have people going on and taking it down, though. There were streams on YouTube and streams popping up and going down left and right here. So did have some people on it taking it down.
I can understand that. I think it's bad for business when people are pirating it. I get that fully. But I'm going to tell you, Tony. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. I think having 700,000 people watching on Twitch probably generated more buzz for fight number 2. If they want to charge $15 for fight number 2 with a guaranteed winner, you're making all the money right there, because 700,000 people watching on Twitch that didn't pay for it, now they have a reason to want to see Logan Paul get his ass kicked.
See, I just don't agree. I don't like the fact that people are pirating it and that people are watching it. Like, you got to support this thing. This is like, come on, it was $7.50 and $10. Like, come on, if you can't afford that, like, what are you doing?
That's a huge no, because obviously, I mean, I think about it myself as a content creator. Just when somebody uses ad block, you know what I mean? It already hurts content creators as it is with YouTube and its demonetization issues and everything. So yeah, I think pirating it's really ridiculous. I think Twitch, staff allowing that, I think that's really ridiculous. I think that's terrible. I don't agree with it. I can't see how that's acceptable to anybody, especially because Amazon owns Twitch. So really that's accountability on Amazon's part. But do I think it hurts their business? Yeah, I do. But I don't think it was that bad. I don't think
the people that were watching on Twitch were even going to buy it anyway. Like, if I couldn't find it, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not going to go out of my way to buy it. I'll just wait till the next day and watch highlights somewhere posted online. So it just comes down to the fact that I think there could be a free version up next. I think they have enough sponsors. They have enough live tickets. They have enough thing. I think the next one could be free, but they've shown that people want to buy it. This model is working. People are buying. They are getting people to get it regardless. I mean, there is some price that comes into putting on an event like this. Michael Buffer is not a cheap guy either. He said, "Let's get ready to rumble." So, that's a price tag right there. So I think it was smart of them to throw that price tag on there. I think it's great going forward. I think if they keep it the same, it'll be great. If they raise the price, I don't agree with that. But I think if they keep it the same, I think it'd be good. What do you think about, because they did some like soccer juggling during the show? Do you want more like YouTube acts going on, like a halftime show, or like what if you got like Post Malone to do something halftime show?
No. You want a halftime experience? I'll give you the halftime experience. Other than that, no.
You're telling me you don't want to see a Post Malone halftime show? Because I'd be into that. No,
I'm good.
So then the question comes forward as we wrap this up here. The question goes: do they make this like an ongoing thing here? Do they just become fight promoters now? Do they start their own production company and start promoting these celebrity fighting things? Is that the way to go? Because honestly, I think there's big money in like celebrity fighting and internet celebrity fighting, because you got the big fans who are invested in these YouTubers, these content creators, these influencers, and then their fans see them. It's like, who would win if KSI fought Logan Paul? Well, now you actually get to see it. Like, should they continue? Like, should it be bigger than KSI and Logan Paul? Should it become its own its own monthly thing? I think so.
No.
I think so.
No. This is the problem with the internet. They jump from trend to trend to trend. First it was, vlogs, and then it was gaming videos, then it was this, then it was that, then it was prank videos, and then these YouTubers went from all these different categories to making rap disses to each other, which, by the way, 90% of them are actual ass. They all suck. But hey, the good news is they start these trends. I think this is more of like a one-off. Maybe we'll get another one, but I think for as long as this exists, I think we're gonna see it hit its peak. Now if maybe they could think of ways to innovate this from going from boxing to MMA, perhaps that's a little bit different.
Could you imagine KSI Logan 2 MMA fight, bruh?
Yeah, I don't know if KSI would win.
Bruh, I'm telling you,
honestly,
that's
I would
what
say
you do. That's what you do. Next one is MMA fight. You don't do boxing, you do MMA.
So the reason why I say KSI would lose that, see, I don't think KSI is totally out of the park when I say Logan should be winning the boxing fight. Because, like I said, they both showed great things. I think Logan does look like the better fighter. But if you're going into an MMA fight, I mean, we've seen the videos of Logan young, like being a young kid training, you know, as a wrestler. Like, the guy knows his stuff on the ground. It's going to be a little bit different for KSI, who's not really an amateur wrestler or anything like that. But nonetheless, I would love to see MMA. I would love to see them get, you know, down and dirty. Look, KSI is a good fighter. There's no doubt about that. I just think when you look at this whole situation of seeing that these content creators think they could become fighters, you got to remember, man, they're wearing helmets. They're wearing protective gear. MMA is a little bit different. And, you know, with MMA, I think at that point, a lot of these guys that you think might be able to win a boxing fight, I don't think it's going to translate well in the octagon. Now, I could be wrong. I know Jake Paul or Logan Paul had said on the TMZ video they think they could beat up CM Punk, which, honestly, probably true. But
Come on,
still.
dude. Really? You're like the biggest Paul brother fanboy that I've ever heard. Like,
no, it's not that I'm a fanboy,
Logan
bro.
Paul
But
would win the boxing, he'd win the MMA, and then he'd beat up CM Punk.
I think Logan Paul.
Ridiculous
So
with this. You're ridiculous with this Logan Paul fanboy stuff. Like, how I still can't believe that you're going on about like how Logan Paul won that
it's
fight.
Not necessarily.
Dude, were
it's
you
not
watching
necessarily.
Did you see the same thing I did? Because KSI was winning that thing at the end.
And that's why I don't. Look, I'm not going to get mad at somebody for saying KSI won. But I just personally felt that Logan Paul won. I think Logan Paul looked like a better fighter. But here's the thing. It's not about being a Logan Paul fanboy. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that CM Punk, who, by the way, lost 2 fights in the UFC, I mean, guys, trust me, Logan Paul would dominate CM Punk in an octagon.
Are you kidding?
I really do think so. I think so.
Think all the pro wrestling that CM Punk had, yes, this is UFC debut and his UFC second fight, not so good. But you're really going to tell me in an MMA fight or boxing?
I think he would lose. I think in both he would lose. I think Logan Paul would absolutely win it. And I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan, but I think a lot of people wanted to count the Paul brothers out, and I think they show that they can definitely hang. At the end of the day, we're not comparing Logan Paul to some freaking professional fighter. We're comparing Logan Paul to another content creator who put it in his mind that he's a boxer now. And I think KSI is great. I think he did a good job. You know, I give him a pat on the back for the effort. But he didn't definitively beat Logan Paul, and he said he would. And at the end of the day, until he does that, I think Logan Paul walks out the winner. Even if Logan Paul, you know, even if he goes to decision 6 more times, KSI needs to knock him out to really prove that he's a winner.
Make it 10 rounds. I guarantee 10, 12 rounds, KSI would get the win there. Logan Paul cannot last that long. He was gassed by the 4th round. He was ready to collapse, dude. His arms were down. He was getting tired. I just don't see it, man. And the CM Punk thing is just hilarious to me. The fact that you think CM Punk could lose to Logan Paul is ridiculous. Like DEJI, I don't know. I was gonna say DEJI and CM whatever. Anyway,
no, stop, just stop.
I don't know, dude. Like, DEJI got a good shot in there on Jake Paul. What do you think, Jake Paul and CM Punk? You still think Jake Paul would take CM Punk?
Yes.
You kidding me?
I think anybody could beat CM Punk, dude. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I know it might come off that way, but like, I'm not even a big freaking Paul supporter, you know, Logan or Jake. But like I said, I don't think, look, CM Punk could lose against a tree. CM Punk could lose against a bumblebee, like at this point. And I like CM Punk when he was a wrestler, but you know what?
First,
he went
got to hit
UFC.
the bumblebee. It'll never happen.
Yeah, it'll never happen. And on top of that, CM Punk actually has to go into the octagon and actually land some punches that are nice and clean. He has to be able to defend a takedown. He actually has to learn how to fight in the octagon. The thing is, none of them have training in this sport, but I think Jake Paul and Logan Paul have a little bit more of I would say an age advantage, probably more than anything. I think their youth would definitely help them. Right. And I think the fact that they've been in a boxing ring against 2 non-professional athletes, and definitely, you know, look, bro, we're comparing. I think CM Punk is on the same level of these cats. So it doesn't matter if I like CM Punk or not. I don't think he's a good fighter, whether that's in a boxing ring or octagon. I don't think so. And, you know, CM Punk is going to need that paycheck soon. So if he was smart, maybe he would accept their offer because, You know, everybody's talking about these lawsuits that he's got going on, and you know, obviously he didn't get no knockout bonus from UFC. Sounds like he got released from the UFC. Come on, dude. He should take them up on their offer, and then maybe he could get some of his clout back because he lost.
All right, we'll see it. You heard it here first. CM Punk's going to join KSI Logan 2 this January
on the undercard.
February.
Right on the bottom of right on the bottom of the undercard. Right on the bottom. Scarce probably pulls him more.
Chris Brown or something one time. I feel like that happened, dude.
Yeah, and Chris Brown would have kicked his ass harder.
Wasn't that a thing? Didn't somebody challenge? He did. I feel like they had some Twitter war or something, right?
They did. Yeah, I mean Chris Brown's an idiot too. So
could you imagine if Chris Brown was like, yeah, he just declines it, and then CM Punk steps up and he's like, oh, Jake Paul, I want to fight you, because Chris Brown wouldn't because he's scared.
Well, put him on a ladder match or a flaming table match or something, because honestly, if it's a boxing fight, it's going to be the most boring shit we ever pay $10 for.
So I'm asking you though, is boxing the way to go with this type of thing? Do we do an MMA for the next one? Because boxing can get boring, like you said. There was a couple of the undercard fights that were like, all right, bros, can you just knock somebody out now?
The highlight of the night for me was the Fortnite dances in the ring.
Oh my gosh!
But other than that, yeah, I think boxing is boring, and I think I think it's hard to say what's going to happen here.
Was this like the pinnacle of the This was the
peak.
The peak.
This was the peak. Yeah.
Peak of boxing right now here.
I mean, there's nothing exciting really happening in the boxing world.
I mean, since like Tyson and stuff, right?
No. I mean, we got some great fighters out there, but the problem is, as far as popularity goes, I think UFC has definitely been killing it lately, and MMA as a whole, people are watching it. So, yeah.
So then, where does this end? So we have this next one, and then you think there's one granddaddy all and then we just move on to more diss tracks or whatever other YouTube trend is going on nowadays.
Yeah, it's gonna be whatever's next. I expect. I mean, that's where the guys, the innovators, the Rice Gums, the FaZe guys, and the Logan Paul brothers, and KSI. I mean, they'll all have to figure it out. I think after the one big fight, if they have a true winner, and the problem is if Jake Paul wins, right? Mm. I'm sorry, if Logan Paul wins, then everybody's gonna say, well, KSI should get a rematch. If KSI wins, everybody's gonna say Logan Paul should get a rematch. So I think it should just be after the second one. That's it. And then if they want to continue their shit talking and trash talking, I think they could do it in video format. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to be so rich off this that they're not even looking forward to a third event. They won't need to. So, yeah, man, be a maverick for life, and maybe you'll see some good things happen. Hey, you can hate on me all you want, but like I said, KSI did not definitively beat. He didn't decisively beat Logan Paul, and until he does, Logan Paul wins.
Point. He had another point. He had one more point. So that's a win in my book.
Yeah, not to me.
But
hey, we got different books,
and then
man.
Two judges were like, yeah, I don't know. So they
Do I look like I know anything about boxing? No.
Well, you know how it works. Majority rules. That's how it works. All three judges have to compete.
I get
that's
that.
How it works. That's how it goes down.
I get that.
Should it be like a winner? There must be a winner for the next one, or are they going to just go, all right, we're going to do this, and then maybe one more winner? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they're smart, they get this in the movie theaters. I think they should make a movie off of this, because this is the biggest thing that happened in the internet. So,
all right, when are they doing this? January, February, number 2?
Probably.
I would assume. End of February, I think is what it was, February 2019. So, right, here's what you do, right? So you build this up. This is my bold prediction here. Going forward, right? You build this up to the biggest it possibly could be. KSI Logan Paul 2, right?
Yep.
Build it up. It's in February, so what's around the corner? WrestleMania.
Oh, stop. Okay.
These boys, dude, KSI Logan Paul, WrestleMania match. All right?
All right, dude. I took off my headphones.
Did you take the headphones off? Are we
this is it.
Clowning here? You get them either. Okay, put them in a mixed tag. Dude, you had the dude you had Arrow, right?
Bro.
You had Cody, right? Remember? Crossover there?
I understand that, but we're talking about YouTube content creators on a WrestleMania card. Where is the respect for my guys like Samoa Joe?
Jon Stewart, okay.
All right, yeah.
Remember Jon Stewart? Remember that dude?
Yeah, worst moment in wrestling history, by the way.
Oh, no, come on. I was there for that.
Okay.
You're telling me that you would not think that they would be good to be at WrestleMania?
They would not be.
Are you kidding me?
And in fact, a lot of those wrestling fans probably wouldn't even know who they are.
Stephen Amell got a match, okay? I think KSI and Logan Paul could get a match.
Okay.
WrestleMania. Book it, man. Make it happen. Put it on the undercard.
Right.
Put it on the network.
Well,
it's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. Chris Brown will be involved in number 2. He's going to get in the cloud. Then we're going to get let me just book this thing, okay? I'm going to fantasy book this. You got your halftime show, or whatever you want to call it, where you have Post Malone singing.
No, that's Flo Rida's job.
No, that's WrestleMania. I'm talking about KSI Logan 2.
All right, let's hear
You
it.
get Post Malone to do it. You got to get some better commentators, though. You need some people that are like crazy.
Sure.
Like you need some crazy. Like you need like Keemstar on commentary or something.
No, you need Mauro Ronaldo, but okay.
Are you kidding me? Mauro Ronaldo. That'd be amazing. Get some like legit. No, they need some like crazy personalities on there. They did a good job though with commentary. I'll say it was a good job, but they need some crazy people out there that are just gonna like go nuts. Like PewDiePie and KSI, or PewDiePie and Keemstar being on commentary.
Sure.
Make that happen. I don't know. What do you give for this final verdict of this? Would you give it a 7-star Meltzer type rating, or do you know?
No.
Honestly, out of the match though, let's just go with the main event, not out of the whole show.
Yeah.
I think the whole show was good, but main event went in. It was a hard hitting fight. They didn't back down. Logan Paul played the clock, and that's how he got the tiebreaker there. Because if time would have ran out, he would have lost. We all know that.
Brain. He's got a brain. He's smart. I think at the end of the day, KSI is a great fighter. There is no denying that. I think he did a good job. But unless he knocks out Logan Paul, in my record book, I think he takes the loss. But look, there's no such thing as giving us ratings because it was $10. It could have been a 1-star fight. They did a great job with production. They did a great job with a lot of things, man. It was a good show. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people were going to comment on this and say, "Oh yeah, what Anthony is saying about what Anthony is saying is the dumbest thing, by giving props to Logan Paul." But until you mentioned the whole WrestleMania thing, I think that definitely took the cake. So
you're telling me WrestleMania
on this episode.
Book it.
On this episode of Dumb Things That Tony Says, you definitely took the cake on this one. So hate on me for being a maverick.
Bro's over here like putting over the Paul brothers, but then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not a Logan Paul fan." Bro.
No, I'm not. It's not about being a Logan Paul fan. I'm putting them over because they deserve to be put over. At the end of the day, everybody who's hating on them just hates them based on their controversies and based on the fact that they're dumbasses, which honestly, my opinion still hasn't changed. They are still dumbasses. When it comes to the content, they are still dumbasses. But they didn't get knocked out, and that's what everybody paid $10 to see. And the fact is, you guys paid $10 to see Logan Paul and Jake Paul get knocked out, and that didn't happen. So, at the end of the day, Logan Paul and Jake Paul are going to count their millions, and everybody's going to be happy. And when they do a second fight, regardless of winner or loser, it doesn't matter because everybody's making money. This was the clickbait of the century, more than just internet. I'm talking all mainstream media. Everybody got fooled, and that's that. Logan Paul for life. And when Logan Paul gets knocked out, then maybe I'll be eating my words. But he didn't get knocked out. He stood his own, and he survived. And if you survive in the ring, then you're a winner. So that's it.
All right, let's wrap it up here. I'm Anthony Douglas. That's AG. You can follow us on the internet. I'm at TonyPizzaGuy anywhere. He's at Tango with Ango. You can find us on there. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, not listening to it on audio form either, you can check it out. We'll have links everywhere so you guys can check it out. If you're seeing this on the TonyPizzaGuy YouTube channel or anywhere else, I encourage you guys to follow the links in the description. That'll take you over to where all this audio video format will be posted. We got this going up. This is going to be like a weekly thing. I think we're going to have a weekly show. Just talk, man. Just have a discussion here. Just talk about things and break it down. I think next week we got All In, so I think that will be our main case in point focus for that one is All In, just talking about the biggest, right? We had the biggest internet fight going on. Now we're having the biggest
independent wrestling show.
Could this be a bigger internet program? I don't know.
I mean, who knows?
Could it,
All In.
Could it do numbers? I don't know. It should be on YouTube Live, but it's on the Fight Network. But we'll have to see how All In performs. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, final thoughts with this KSI Logan Paul thing. I think it was thumbs up. They were winners. I think everybody's winners. I think they did a great job here. We'll see KSI Logan Paul 2 February. Possibly. We'll see how it all plays out. The only good thing here is that there's going to be tons of content coming out. KSI will make a video. Logan Paul will make a video. Hey, I should have won. Hey, I should have won. And then leading up to their next fight, and they'll do another press conference a couple times, and then we'll have it in LA, and it'll be all Logan Paul fans. The Mavericks can be out there. You can go there, dude. I'll buy you a ticket so you can go watch it, and then you can sit there and wear that Paul Brothers T-shirt and get that. Can you go to Walmart and buy a Jake Paul poster every day, bro, and put that behind you? Because I need to see that.
I mean, I'm working on the studio space out here, so I was definitely gonna buy some posters, and I'll even make a bet with you. If KSI beats Logan Paul on fight number 2, I'll get a poster of Jake or Logan Paul, and I'll put it in the background for 1-1.
Paul one that says "Everyday Bro." That's the one I want you to have in your background.
So you guys heard it here first on number 1 contender. Okay.
All right.
You got it.
I got it. So I thank you guys for listening, Ango. If you want to close us out here, AG, finish it out.
AGANGO. It doesn't matter who you know or what you know. We're out of this. We'll see you guys next week on the next episode. I'm number 1 contender, Tony, Ango. We are out.